Hey guys, welcome back to the Pro Tech. Today we're diving into Python control structures. Now, Python structures are the secrets to making your programs think and repeat actions automatically. Now, a quick preview of what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be learning the types of statements we have in Python control structures. We have if, else, and elif statements, and we're also going to be learning about loops. And we have two loops in Python, which are the while and for loop. Now, let's jump right into the video. If you have your file ready, let's jump right into the video. Now, what are control structures? Now, control structures, in this simple definition, control structures decide which code runs and how many times it runs. Control structures decide which code runs and how many times it runs. Like if we have, if we wanted to decide something, like if we wanted to we wanted to control we wanted to control how many times our code runs and how many times it is repeated. We can do that using control structures. And if we wanted to make a code, like we wanted to make a code that runs automatically on its own, we use control structures. Now, we have two types. We are going to be looking at decision making and loops in control structures. Now, let's dive on first to decision making. Now, let's say that we have that we want to stop underage drinking. Now that we set a variable called age, and as I am, let me just put 16 as I'm 16. Let me put 16, and we check if age is less than or equals to, let me just say less than 18, and don't forget our semicolon, print you are underaged. Okay, I think yes. No errors. Okay, you're underaged. Now we see that. Now let's say that I had, let's say I usually change the variable of my age, or let's say a user could decide the age, a user could decide its own age. Now let's make this variable, let's add an input function to let the user decide to tell us their age. Now, what is your age? Okay. Now, what is your age? Now, if the user age is less than 18, this statement, the this statement checks this age variable if it's less than 18, and it prints out you are underaged. Let's check it. Let's check it. Now we have what is your age? Now, okay, let me just say that I am 12 years old. Now, I put this. Oh, okay, sorry. We have error here. I forgot to make this turn the variable into an integer. I'm passing an integer, so I forgot to make it accept integers. Sorry. Okay, let's try that again. Now, what is your age? Oh, how old are you? Sorry, I don't know why I wrote what is your age. Okay, let me just say how old are you? Okay, now I say that I'm 12 years old. Okay, I'm 12 years old, right? Now the function checks this age block here, this age variable, and checks if the age is less than 18. Now, when this input is passed, this statement is being run. Now, it checks if the age is less than 18. Then it prints it, you are underaged. Now, let's say if the age was, let me say, if the age was 19, it doesn't print out anything. Okay, let's change that. Now, let's add an elif. Now, what's an elif? An elif is like, it's a secondary if statement. Let me put it like that, but I don't think that is well put. Let me put it like an if statement, an elif statement is a secondary if statement. I think that's valid. Yeah, that's okay. I know that's valid. Now, an elif statement is a secondary if statement that we can put to check if the statement is true or false. Now, an elif, let's put elif age is more than or equals to 18. Now, if it's more than or equals to 18, it prints out you're old enough. You're old enough, son. Okay. Now, but you could also say, why didn't we put an if statement? Okay, let's say this. You watch now why I didn't just write another if statement. I'll tell you why. Just let's check this out. When we reach the else statement, I'll tell you why I didn't add another if statement. Now let's run this and let's try our 19 years old again. What is your age? Okay, 19. Now it prints out you are old enough. Now, what if I am neither above 19 and below 18? Now let's put our else statement. Else prints I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Now let's check it. If let's say our age, I hope you all can see my terminal. Let me increase it. That's too much. How about this? Okay, this is perfect. Now let's check it. What is your age? Let me put -3, -2. You are underaged. Ah, ah, ah. Okay. Sorry, my bad. Let me change this to less than or equals to, sorry, 18. Okay, let's check this. How old are you? Input 6 years old. You're underaged. Okay. Okay, sorry. No, sorry. I'm making an error here. You see, everybody makes mistakes. I'm making an error here. Let me just say else. You are a child. You are a child. And let me put this to more than or equals to 16. Okay, let me do 18. No, let me do 12. Okay, let's try this again. What is your age? Please work, please work, please work. Yes, you are a child. Okay, thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Now we can see that our code is working now. Okay, I told you guys earlier that I'll explain why I didn't just add another if statement. Okay, I could easily just add an if statement here, but okay, I could easily add an if statement. There was no error here. There's no error. This is a perfectly fine code. But the reason is that while I think I was doing like a code, I was writing a program like some time ago, and I was always thinking that why are we always putting this else if statement? Why we can't just put an if statement? And while I was writing that, I found out that every if statement has its own else. Now, let's say that we were nesting these if statements. Now let's say that we're nesting an if statement. Nesting means it's in the block of the if statement, like I just nesting it. Now we can see that this if statement is for this else statement. So they can't be in the same indentation. I hope you guys are following me. They can't be in the same indentation because if they're in the same indentation, the this if statement wouldn't work for this else statement. It will work for only this. I hope you guys are following. So we couldn't that's why we couldn't just add another if statement. We made an else if statement. Now I hope you guys understand how to use if and else if statement. And one thing I could actually tell you that is a very common mistake is your indentation. Like this indentation, you can just write a code like this. You can see how I'm having errors. You can see the red stripes, everything here. You can see how I'm just having errors. So please watch out for your indentation, please. So that's a very common mistake. Even like if you're writing a bunch of if statements, please watch out for your individual indentation. Okay, I think we are done with the decision making. Now, I think we should head over to loops. Now, let's take out this code right here and let's jump over to loops. Now, a loop, what is a loop? A loop is a repeated action. Oh, yes, a repeated action. That's just in a simple that's just a simple way to put it, a repeated action. Now, in Python, we have two types of loops. We have the while loop and the for loop. Now, we'll be checking the while loop. Now, let's type in a variable count equals to 0, right? So we have a variable and we assigned it to 0, right? Now we put the statement while count is less than or equals to 5, print counting. Print counting, and let's pass count. Now, what this does right here is that we've just made a variable count. Now, sorry, let me end this so you guys will not get confused when I do this. So we just made a variable count, right? Now this count, we are using this count to check in this while loop. Now we check while count is less than or equals to 5. It types in counting. I don't think you guys will understand it unless I finish and show you guys the code. Okay. Now let me show you guys the code and I'll explain it so you guys can understand easier. Sorry. What am I doing? Okay. Now let me see. Ooh. So I hope you guys can see it. Now what code we just did here, what the code just did is that this variable here counts. We assigned it to 0. Now we do while count is less than 5, less than or is 5, it will print counting unless the file is less than or equals to 5. So we gave it a condition. So this condition is that it only counts if the number is less than or equals to 5. The loop stops if the number exceeds 5. I hope you guys are catching what I'm throwing. So it's only if the number exceeds 5. That's why here we see counting 0. Because, why we added this count plus 1 is that every time the loop runs, because it's running and checking this variable every time, unless it's checking the variable until this condition is being fulfilled. So every time it checks the variable, we add to this variable plus 1. So that's why here we can see counting 0, counting 1, counting 2, counting 3, counting 4, counting 5. So that's why we can see it's increasing every every number. Now I hope we have an idea of while loops. Now I think we can go to for loops. Okay. If you guys have any questions, please write it, type it in the comments. Now let's go to for loops. Now for loops are the almost the same as while loops. So for loops they do they do the same thing. It's just that I feel like for loops are easier if you require a specific goal, like if you require it to run a specific time. Like let's cancel this. Like let's say now that I say for for I, sorry, this I is a variable, or this I is yeah, let me just say it's a variable that I'm passing in. For I in range 5. Okay, please never forget the colon, please. That is also a common mistake that we have in the while and the for loop. Now we if for range I, what we'll do right now is that, give me a moment, we'll print hello, print, oh sorry, look at my indentation. Okay, my indentation is correct. Print, is it though? No, it's not. I'll change that right now. Sorry, what am I doing? Hello, hello, and we put I. So we pass in the variable we made there. So now you can name it, you can name this I anything. You can make it this I, you can make it D, you can make it R. Just make it a short letter, a short alphabet, so it'll be easier for you to use it. Now print hello. Okay, let's check what this code does. You can see that it counts this. Let me explain what this does right now. So this for I in range 5. What this does is that for I in range 5 is that it counts from 0 to 4. It counts 5 times. Now, I think that what is an important lesson, like what to note in Python is that Python counts from 0. So if you put range 5, it wouldn't count till 5. It stops before 5. So it counts from 0 to 4. That's 5 times. Now, this range only works for this range only works for integers. Please, it doesn't work for decimals. Like if we have 5.8, there is an error. You see, float object cannot be interpreted as an integer. So for I in range 5.8 is wrong because this range function here only works for integers. Now, if now we have for I in range 7. So this counts all the way from 0 to 6. Let's check. From 0 to 6. Now, we can see that it counts from 0 to 6. We can also say that like a second definition of a range is that a range function is that it, sorry, is that it only works with integers and it is used when you want your loop to run a specific number of times. Like in while loop, you need a condition, but in for for loops, you put in the required times it needs to run. Now, I can make this code right now, this hello, run 8, let me just say 10 times. Sorry, 10 times. Now, we see that it runs from, sorry, it runs from hello 0, hello 3, hello 2, 3, and so forth, and so on, and so on, and so forth. So, we can make it, sorry, God bless me. So, we can make it run the required number of times we want it to run. Now, I didn't want to make this video so long, so I hope you guys learned. I know that I hope you guys learned very well from this video, and I hope you guys understand the basics of control structures. Please, if you guys don't understand anything, please type it in the comments, like, subscribe, and any issue I'm saying again, please, I'll be more than happy to make a second video to explain any parts you didn't understand. Like, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.